Welcome to Frank's School. Sorry, I've got a head cold. I don't know what, I'll probably look worse than normal and sound bad, but I'm going to do this anyway. This is the 13th year, the 33rd day in the first video of Frank's School. State of the school of the year 2023. Biden did his State of the Union last night. Well, here's my State of the School. New projects. I dealt with a bunch of stuff that I was cleaning up last year, but I've also turned to some new projects, and I'm just going to kind of tick them off one after the other here pretty fast. Pig corrals. I've got 2 piglet corrals. I've got 2 areas that I need to fence in that will hold the piglets. They scoot under everything, but I need to make the fence low enough that there's going to be 2 areas that I know I can contain them. So that's one of the things I've started. I don't really have them done. The botanical garden. Now I'm serious about that. The botanical garden doesn't have to be big, but there's an area that I intend to keep warm all winter, so that I could actually grow palm trees in there. It's very small, but maybe I should call it what do they call it? Conservatory or something like that. I don't know. So I did a lot on that, and it's coming along. The novel, I think I mentioned it already. I actually started this novel in 2022, 21 started it, but mostly it was in 2023. But now I'm onto it again. There's going to be a playlist I'm going to make up called The State of the Novel. I'll probably keep that going until I finish that novel, which may be sometime later this year. That number was a way for me to find where I pick up on that playlist. Thermal mass. I decided to add a lot of thermal mass, even more, to that furnace than I already had, and to place a lot of the thermal mass more above it and closer to it to keep it warm all through the night. That was a project which ultimately, well, I had some trouble because dust was coming off some of the things, and with this system it goes up through the house, so it wasn't trouble-free. But anyway, my cast iron collection, which I have mostly cookware, almost all cookware, I've brought that up from the barn, cleaning it up. I'm going to hang it on the wall, partly to have it cleaned up and hanging on the wall, but as thermal mass. Cookware, and it's not the only cookware. I've saved kind of antique cookware that's aluminum, enamel steel, various things like that. I'm gathering them close to the furnace because they will hold warmth and they're not flammable. Dishes, I've got a whole lot of dishes I've bought at the sale. They've been sitting outside, they might as well be inside, I thought. Ceramic tile, probably 2 pickup truck loads. Well, 1 could probably carry it, but I'll bring it down in 2 pickup loads. Been up in the field. They're nice ceramic tiles. I'm going to bring them, I don't know if I'll bring them in here because it'd be too much, but I'm going to get them closer, and I'll be ready to use them on, if not this furnace, then 2 of the other ones I'm building. So that was thermal mass. That was new. Footbridge. I actually began a footbridge down past the western meadow or pasture. I didn't have time to finish the deck, but I got the under part ready, and so it's coming along. The Gur site. Now a Gur is something like a yurt, and up on the top of the hill, I've got a spot picked out where we've often had bonfires. I'm going to build a Gur there. I started it. I didn't get finished, but I am going to put that into the novel. The mill complex. That's those 10 platforms that go down the eastern or western slope over there in the pig pasture. I loaded the bottom one, the 10th one. I got the floors on the other 9, and then going down to the left, there's 6. I got the floors on them pretty much too. So I did an awful lot, and they're going to carry aqueducts or sluices. I've explained about this other ways, but I spent a lot of time toward the end of the summer on them. The confluential dam. Now, a confluence is where 2 streams come together, and right at that spot, I've built a dam that would, a weir really is the right word for it, W-E-I-R, that diverts the water onto the pasture so I can irrigate it. And that has an interesting part to play in the novel as well. But I say plus because in working on that, the pigs working always with me really, I managed to get more lessons from those pigs about archaeology, and have finally figured out why that land is like it is. It's because that's where they washed the iron ore. And I'll really have to deal with that elsewhere, I think. All right, infrastructure. At a certain point, I decided there's so much stuff to do here, and I can't do it all. I'm just going to let the Folcutts go until somebody's ready to come help me build one and use it for some reason. That's about 50 buildings, and I've got them all started. The stuff's gathered around. But instead, I'm going to turn to the infrastructure, things like the latrine for the community, the laundry, the irrigation system, the aqueducts, the water wheels. That's just a matter of where I turned my attention. I started to learn SketchUp finally. I actually started to learn this computerized drafting program, SketchUp. I don't know why I have so much trouble learning it, but I actually am learning it now. A model. I also started to build a little model about that big of a Folcutt, so it'd be easier to show people what it is. Katolé 6 revival. The 6 of us that served in the Peace Corps in adjacent years in Katolé do Rocha, Brazil, we are now, I didn't necessarily do that on purpose, but it's come to the point where the 6 of us communicate almost every day now, even though we've been separated for so long. A lot has to do with the novel, because all 6 of us have characters based on us in the novel. And finally, the basement, right here where I am, cleanup. This hasn't really been thoroughly cleaned up, never, but cleaned up really at all for about 7 years, 6, maybe 7 years, and so there's dust everywhere. And I started to get into it. My library goes there. I've got a lot of tool collections. I need to be able to know where the tools are and start to work on that. All right, now finally, I'm ready to go outside with you. Take you guys outside. The weather's getting nicer. It's going to be harder to stay in here. Okay, bye for now.